Willoughby. Todd Bozeman in amongst his players. 31 years old, one of the youngest coaches in his 4th season at Cal. And of course we mentioned Tim Floyd, his 10th year overall, but his 2nd at Iowa State. Tim Floyd, a name that comes up in tons of rumors of late. We'll talk about that as the night goes on. Right now he is just worried about his Iowa State Cyclones. Dick Paparo, Dan Chrisman, and Rick Hartzell, the officials. Abdur Rahim greeting Kelvin Cato at half court. Those two are going to jump it up. They're both from the state of Georgia. Actually, Rahim used to watch Cato play in AAU leagues. He's a couple of years older. They'll be going against each other tonight. Pratt unable to make the catch, and the Cyclones turn it over on their first possession. Anwar McQueen will be the point guard, and he will be the one who has to recognize the many different defensive looks that Iowa State will give over the course of the game. Gray comes up shooting, partially blocked and picked off by Kenny Pratt underneath. Kenny Pratt gives away a lot in size, but not much in the way of determination.
Early in the game, Tim Floyd comes up with 2 unusual matchups. He's got Kenny Pratt at 6'4", guarding the 6'9" Sharif Abdur-Rahim, and he's got Kelvin Cato guarding Tony Gonzalez, who's 6'5". Tim Floyd likes to do unusual things defensively.
John Bankhead right now on Gray. Here's Duck being chased by Willoughby and setting the screen. Dick Paparo has got the call on Abdur-Rahim.
Sharif Abdur-Rahim, his first personal foul, team foul number 1.
The youngster not liking the call, but he picks up an early foul here 50 seconds into the game.
One thing I like about Sharif is that he does not allow game distractions to distort his play.
Good look underneath, and Bankhead with the first bucket of the game. Cyclones come with some trapping pressure. Gonzalez able to get it to Abdur-Rahim. He can handle it in the open court. Nearly had his pocket picked by Holloway. Gets it back out to McQueen. Duck is going to let it fly. Can't make the 3 stick. Cato up there for the rebound. Holloway. Willoughby, strong move to the bucket.
Mike, when Willoughby gets that ball on the left side of the floor, 9 out of 10 times, he's going to drive to the basket. He's an unusual player. He's right-handed, and he loves to drive to his left.
Kenny Pratt picks up that reach-in foul.
Kenny Pratt, his first personal foul, team foul number 1.
Tim Floyd, Coach of the Year in 3 different conferences: American South, Sun Belt, and Big 8. And this is a guy who hasn't been at it that long. McQueen chased by Holloway. Fernandez comes out, sets the screen, and McQueen drops the 3.
And for McQueen, 3 points.
Iowa State likes to operate out of a high 1-4. Their offense will feature a lot of back screens and down screens.
Here's a steal by Gray, and the open floor lost the handle. Willoughby saves it back to Bankhead.
Both teams exhibiting a lot of early game jitters. They'll settle down, and the game will come to reality.
Is this the tempo you expected, Coach?
Yes, it is. Cal is a 94-foot team.
Randy Dutch, his first personal foul, team foul number 2.
Iowa State's a 94-foot team, particularly defensively. Iowa State will use their postmen to step out and reverse the basketball. Most of their screens are set for Willoughby.
Holloway back rims the three, and that's going to be a push on Pratt. And Kenny Pratt has picked up a quick 2.
90% of Iowa State's set plays are run for Derek Willoughby, Mike. They'll run him off of double screens, single screens, triple screens. But when you have the ability he has to score, it's a wise move to keep the ball in his hands.
McQueen again looking to recognize the defense, see what he wants to do. Bankhead and Gray went to junior college together. Long jump shot won't go down for McQueen. And here comes Willoughby. Willoughby. Cyclone 6-3. Gray for the tie. No. Here comes Bankhead on the break. He's got Holloway with him. Finds him. Back to Bankhead. Reach-in foul. It's going to go on McQueen.
And McQueen, his first personal foul.
Kelvin Cato rolling off with a high post when he saw his man lost vision. His man turned and looked to defend the basketball. He quickly cut to the basket and found himself wide open for the power dunk.
All right, here we go.
Jermaine Folks comes into the game, the 1995 freshman of the year. The Pac-10.
Right now, Mike, on the floor for the Cal Bears, they have 3 go-to players: Raheem, Ed Gray, and Tremaine Folks. And actually, all 3 of these young men were freshman players of the year in their conferences. Ed Gray was freshman player of the year in the Southeast Conference.
Cyclones get back into their pressure defense. There's a trap on McQueen. Able to get around Holloway on the sideline. Folks handling it first time. Abdul Rahim, nice ball fake. A Cato in the air, a little floater. Won't stay down. Rebound tipped. Gray couldn't save it. And it's going to come back to Iowa State. We're going to get a timeout. 15:48 left to go first half. Cyclones with the early 4-point lead.
You think about the Mariner Moose running with Griffey. The Mariner Moose conveys to people Griffey is a man who cares. I mean, Griffey didn't go pick the governor of Ohio and say, I want something from a swing state. He didn't try to go for some sort of ethnic diversity here. Griffey went for living things diversity. He wanted to make a statement, I think, and I got to tell you, when he first did it, I thought the idea was nuts. But now, the more that you think about it, I think this guy's playing at a different level than we've played before.
Introducing the new full-time four-wheel drive Lexus LX 450. It's everything a Lexus is, and everything a Lexus isn't.
Because of its remarkable clarity, Cellular One is the nation's #1 cellular service, clear across America.
It was about innovation. It was about elegance. It was about convenience. It was about service. It was about dependability. It still is. The employee owners of TWA We're up to something good in Europe and our over 80 destinations around the world.
A child from an angel's past becomes a disciple of evil.
I'm not the devil, she is.
Can Paul Winfield help her win back his soul? Untouched by an Angel, Saturday.
The Cyclones of Iowa State have jumped out to a 7-3 lead, 15:48 left to go in the first half here at Reunion Arena in Dallas, Texas. Iowa State 75%, 3 out of 4, and Cal just 1 of 6. Holloway, Bankhead, Willoughby.
With so much of Iowa State's offense being geared toward Willoughby, you would think some teams would play Iowa State a box and one.
Here's Holloway. Cato wants the ball inside. They get it to him. Goes to work, and Abdul-Rahim gets the roll. Second bucket for Kelvin Cato tonight. Is a steal by Willoughby for 2. And a traveling violation on McQueen.
When Cal is taking the ball out of bounds, Rahim must run the baseline. He's standing stationary, and even worse, he's standing stationary behind the backboard. He must move in there. Run the baseline.
The Cyclones are aptly named at the moment. They're up 11-3. Holloway, Bankhead's calling for the ball. Turns. And foul.
Sean Bankhead was guarded by Ed Gray on that play, and Ed Gray and Sean Bankhead played together at the College of Southern Idaho.
Tony Gonzalez returns.
He said, Ed, we were teammates once, but not anymore. Take that.
Tony Gonzalez has come back in now for Cal. Ed Gray will sit down. Bankhead looking for the three-point play. A 10-0 run now for the Cyclones. 6 for Bankhead. McQueen skips it ahead. Oh, Cato got a piece of it, but folks put it home.
Tremaine Folks used the rim as a shield as he went up for that power move, and as a result, Cato could not get his hand into the shooting pocket.
Willoughby backs it out. Nice little crossover move, trying to dip it inside, loose, out of bounds. Last to touch it was Cato. Dick Paparo with the emphatic call down there on the baseline.
Just about 6 minutes have gone by in this game, and Sharif Abdul-Rahim has only taken 1 shot. Throughout the season, he goes through little pockets of time, Mike, when he will not get a shot.
Duck, little floater in the lane, goes down.
Randy Duck.
First 2 for Randy Duck. And that snaps the Cyclone run. 14-7. Iowa State by 7. Gonzalez, the quick hands. McQueen, Abdul-Rahim has got Gonzalez with him, and he traveled with it. The big guy made the pass early. They had a 2-on-1 break. But he decided to put it on the floor, and he traveled. Bankhead will sit down. Pratt comes back in.
Once this ball was outletted and he got a 2-on-1, he should have given it up. Big man started too far away from the basket to make his penetration and the offensive move.
Pratt comes out deep, covered by Gonzalez.
If yours is a defense that does not handle screening well, you'll be in for an absolute nightmare playing Iowa State. They set back screens, cross screens, and down screens, and they set them in a plentiful manner.
Cal with the quick push and the finish on the other end by Fultz.
It certainly appeared that that ball was above the cylinder when it was tipped in.
It did look that way. But Cal's right back in this, down 5. Holloway with the set play outside.
Cal's getting a lot of early offensive opportunities. They've got to finish those plays.
Pratt won't stay down for him. Pratt goes and gets it in traffic, too. That's what he does best. Cyclones by 7. Abdur-Rahim puts it on the floor again, leans in, got whacked by Cato. And Kelvin Cato picks up his first.
Mike, Kenny Pratt is a 6'4" player who plays like he's a 6'8" player. He plays much bigger than he is, and he's an excellent offensive rebounder.
Prentice Magruder is in now at the point. Arkansas the 4-point lead on Penn State, and Purdue with a hands full with Western Carolina. Number ones have had their hands full today, at least early, with the number 16. Colgate hung around with Connecticut. San Jose State hanging around with Kentucky. Central Florida right there at the half with UMass. Abdur-Rahim is on the board, his first point. 1-2 at the line, folks. Oh, a travel is called.
Randy Duck returns for California.
Randy Duck is back in now for Cal. Abdur-Rahim will get a rest as Cal gets a lot smaller.
Cal sacrificing height for defensive quickness and maneuverability. Randy Duck, Cal's ace defender.
Pratt, the 2. Pratt had his mind made up when he got that one, Coach. He was going to take Gonzalez.
In the late part of the season, Iowa State decided that they were going to put the 4-corner offense in as a weapon, and that's exactly what they used on that last maneuver, Mike. They'll have 3 guys up high and 2 out wide in the corners. It's the old Carolina 4 corners offense.
Clay Edwards into the game, came down with that rebound in traffic.
And here it is again, Mike.
Yep.
Here's the old Carolina 4 corners. When they ran it, they had an All-American in the middle, Phil Ford, and he could break a defense down.
In the lane, Modeman, no rebound, ripped down in there by Gray. Back in the game, throws it away. Holloway. Magruder's got it. Gray keeping both teams in the game. Offensive foul, no. Blocking foul's called. Clay Edwards picks it up.
Team foul.
We've got a timeout, 10:55 to go in the half. 18-10, Iowa State.
A tradition unlike any other, the Masters on CBS Sports.
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's all plain to see that the land is pure, untamed and free. There's no place that I'd rather be. So come on along and head for the mountains of Bush Deer. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Deer.
Before we tell you anything else about this car, we want you to know that it costs $35 grand, which we at Oldsmobile think is a darn good price for a D8 luxury performance sedan like the Aurora. Naturally, the people in finance wanted to ask $50, but we talked them out of it. It's your money.
At Michelin, We believe a tire that's just good in the rain isn't good enough. Introducing the Michelin X1 with a 6-year, unlimited mileage tread life warranty. It's the one tire that gives you better wet traction than any rain tire, plus control in any driving condition. After all, it hasn't rained that much in years. The Michelin X1.
I'm Jackie Joyner-Kersey, and I have asthma, something I have to live with both on and off the track. It took a trip to the emergency room to teach me that just treating attacks is not controlling asthma. This condition is with you every day, symptoms are not. So I manage my asthma every day, symptoms are not. Sticking with the plan your doctor prescribes is the only way to help prevent attacks before they occur. For the latest ways to control your asthma, contact the Asthma Control Program from Glaxo Wellcome. Get with the program, stick with the program.
Cal trailing by 8 at 18-10, and there's the steal by Holloway. Watch the defensive play by Gray.
Well, Mike, coaches tell players when you make a mistake, find a way to make up for it. Ed Gray timed this perfectly, and you notice that he didn't go over his back. He went for the shooting hand, timed it, and picked the ball up just as it was heading in an upward flight.
Abdul Rahim tips it out, and Duck is able to recover. Arkansas holding on to that lead over Penn State. Magruder with an opening, and he buries a two. First two for Prentice Magruder, and it's a 6-point game at 18-12. Pratt. Edwards down low for two. The 6'10" freshman delivering for Tim Floyd. Gonzalez, little foul line jump shot, and that goes.
Talking to the Cal staff, they expect that to be there in a plentiful manner. They do not expect Iowa State to come out to the high post area and guard Tony Gonzalez. They're using this man as a defensive helper. So there'll be numerous shot openings for Tony Gonzalez.
Here's Pratt. Beats Gonzalez off the dribble, finds Edwards open. Can't get it to stay down. Cato keeps it alive. Edwards hustles in. Has it tipped away, picked off by Duck. Ed Gray comes up shooting. And
Cal's on a roll.
20-16. It's a 4-point game. Here's Willoughby, who's been relatively quiet the last 4 or 5 minutes. Pratt, who seems to think he can take Gonzalez every time, and you can see why.
Kenny Pratt has very crafty moves, and that's one of his favorites. To start the penetration to the left, spin dribble back to the right, and look for the shooting opportunity.
Gray might have got away with a step there on the catch. Duck behind a couple of screens, nothing doing. Finds Gonzalez. Gonzalez is going to take it. That one is sent back at him. Offensive foul is called on Magruder.
Cal's offense thus far has been a lot more productive in transition than it's been in its half-court offense. Perfect timing then, Mike, by Kelvin Cato. He waited until that ball had left the shooter's hand before he left his feet. He went straight up in the air and got between the basket and the basketball to complete the block.
Cato holds a single-season shot blocking record at 2 different schools, South Alabama and Iowa State.
In reality, Cal's a 94-foot offensive team, Mike. When they're forced to play half-court offense, it reduces their athletic ability, and it brings into play their decision-making ability.
Here goes Willoughby strong to the hole. The game of runs in Iowa State's on one right now.
Every scouting report in the Big 8 will tell you that Willoughby, when he gets the ball on the left side of the basket, he likes to penetrate along the baseline.
Folks will take it outside, comes up short. Holloway picks it off, gets it ahead to Willoughby. Willoughby's going to take it and make it. 9 points all of a sudden for Willoughby, and Todd Bozeman is going to take a 20-second timeout. 7:48 to go in the half. Iowa State back up by 11. UMass and Stanford winning earlier today, and you think that's a good battle in the second round there, Coach, don't you?
I think it's a battle of the backcourts. Stanford has a very potent backcourt in Bevan Knight and Deion Cross.
A lot of people were looking forward to Connecticut Duke. It's not going to happen, as Eastern Michigan stepped up big this afternoon. And Drexel with that major upset over Memphis. But you know that Drexel team's a good team, don't you, George?
Malik Rose. I haven't talked to a pro scout yet who didn't tell me this young man's a first-round selection. Mike, this is second year in a row that Stanford has met UMass in their second game in the tournament.
Abdur Rahim handling a little bit himself. Now he gives it up to McQueen. Folks, Gray, and Duck also on the floor for Cal. Gray has his shot blocked by Cato. Loose underneath. It'll still be Cal ball. And we're going to get a timeout. 7:31 to go in the half. The Cyclones are up 11.
In shopping for a luxury performance sedan, Jay Kerness tested the Oldsmobile LSS against the fastest, most nimble machine on Earth, Juma, the Cheetah. The LSS's sport suspension and traction control attacked the course, as did the Cheetah. But while he considered the LSS's precise handling quite impressive, there was one thing he failed to consider. Cheetahs are very sore losers. Will the LSS pass your test?
Nice, kitty. Go away.
Way out there, there's hops. Without hops, beer wouldn't taste as good as it does. Take the best part of the hops, the beer's gonna taste even better. We found a way now makes it possible to brew beer straight from the heart of the hops. For a beer with heart that goes down easy. We think so much of this new beer, we're just calling it who we are. Miller, always new possibilities. Gotta reach for what's out there.
When I punch the clock, I'm a working machine. I got boots to do the job, got my Wolverines. I can tame a wild jackhammer, rewrite miles of interstate. I can work like hell, never get the blues. 'Cause I feel like heaven in my Wolverine boots. Wolverine joint shots, guaranteed comfort for your money back. Work like hell, feel like heaven. Wolverine joint shots, made in the USA.
Tough athlete's foot, cure it the way doctors do. With the same unbeatable medicine they prescribe time and again. It's in prescription strength Desenex. Nothing cures athlete's foot better. Prescription strength Desenex with the doctor's cure.
Enterprise? Hi, I'm at the repair shop. I need to rent a car.
Enterprise will arrange to pick you up,
This is great.
drive you to our place, and get you on your way. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
He cheated on her, and yet she stayed. But when he needed her most, she'd fallen for another man.
You're moving in the guy you're having an affair with?
A husband, a wife, and a lover, Sunday.
Nighttime in Dallas, Texas, and Iowa State has jumped out to a 27-16 lead with about 7:30 to go here in the first half. Willoughby a perfect 4 for 4 from the floor. And, Coach, you were telling me the last couple of days that there'll be periods where Abdur Rahim doesn't get the ball. He's not touching it much tonight.
Well, he had his season low in their last regular season game against Arizona. He only had 9 points.
He only attempted 1 field goal in the first 12-plus minutes.
It's time that the Cal Bears introduce themselves to their star.
And that was the case of Cal just having no clue what was going on with the shot clock. None.
Well, first of all, that should have taken place during the timeout. One of the assistant coaches should have instructed the players how much time there was left on the shot clock. They well might have done it, but if they did, from the time they left the huddle to the floor, the players forgot it.
Iowa State dominating inside.
They're back in that four corners, Mike. They spread that offense. Tim Floyd just called a set play, a double screen up high for Holloway.
Bankhead wants the ball down low. Monoman to three.
Joe Monoman, 3 points.
That's his biggest asset as a Cyclone player. He's a magnificent standstill three-point shooter. He's their zone buster. Anytime a team goes zone, he's coming into the game. Joe Monoman.
A 14-point Cyclone lead, their biggest of the first half. Again, Cal is under 8 on the shot clock. Folks will have to take it, and he kisses it home and got fouled. Well, there is some talent on this Cal team, isn't there?
Team foul number 5.
When this Cal team becomes a cohesive unit,
The basket by Tremaine Cole.
they will be headed for a consistent top 20 ranking.
For Iowa State.
Kenny Pratt back into the game for Iowa State. Tremaine Folks at the free throw line. He's the only Cal player with more than one field goal.
All these shots have been hard to come by for the Cal Bears. Cal now has Jelani Gardner and Randy Duck in the backcourt. That tells me Jelani Gardner moves to the point.
Willoughby. And the ball is coming back to Cal. I think it was Folks who came in from behind and got the block on Cato. Iowa State had an early 10-0 run. Dave Gardner touching it first time in the offensive end, gives it to Stewart. Todd Boesen has gone deep into the bench now.
Kenny Pratt is just smothering Raheem with his defense in there. When he goes to the low post, he fronts him. When he tries to come outside, he beats him to the spot.
4 on the shot clock. And Willoughby with the strip on Folks. He knew exactly what Folks had to do. Bankhead, the bump, and the bucket. 8 for Sean Bankhead. And the Cyclones have opened up a 14-point first half lead.
We've seen some outstanding defense here in this region.
Bankhead is smiling at Jelani Gardner as he covers him. There goes Folks to the hoop. And he's going to get himself to the line. Sharif Abdur-Rahim still with just 1 field goal attempt. 4:45 to play in the first half. Ed Gray comes back in.
I talked to 2 different coaches in the Big 8, and they told me the same thing. That one of Iowa State's biggest strengths defensively is its ability to keep the ball out of the hands of the other team's best player. You and I talked to Mike Floyd before the game, and he said I have this 60-30 theory. Raheem scores 60% of their points, and Gray scores 30. We're going to stop one of those 2 guys from being as productive as they normally are. And right now, that player is Raheem.
Tremaine Folks so far the only offensive player for Cal. He has 7 of their 19. Nobody else with more than 3.
Some people would say it's awfully arrogant of Tim Floyd to put 6'4" Kenny Pratt on 6'9" Sharif Raheem Abdul, but he's D'ing him up. Right now he has handcuffs on him.
Holloway. Oh.
J.C. Holloway.
J.C. Holloway, his first two. The lead goes to 14. Ball is tipped. Comes right to Martiman. He gets it quickly to Holloway, and he gets it across the line. And a 20-second timeout is called by Tim Floyd. Just about 4 minutes to play here in the first half, and Iowa State has dominated the first 16 minutes against Todd Bozeman and the Cal Golden Bears, led by Sean Bankhead with 8 and Dedrick Willoughby with 9. Iowa State has had a 10-0 run, a 10-2 run, and they're getting a lot of easy baskets, Coach.
Well, in their half-court offense, they're getting easy baskets because they do such a good job of screening and using screenings. The timing is impeccable. Defensively, they're creating a lot of easy baskets for themselves with deflections.
65% shooting to this point for the Cyclones. And there's a backcourt. Holloway tried to tightrope that line, and he just couldn't keep his balance. Jelani Gardner is covered by Bankhead. Bankhead is very, very difficult to take off the dribble. Duck comes up shooting off the screen and rattles home a three. Second field goal for Duck. The lead to 11. Willoughby, nice ball fake, pulls up for the jumper. That's going to be short. Rebound taken down, and those are the kind of mistakes that are really hurting Cal right now as Jelani Gardner sticks out of bounds. 34-23. Cyclones by 11.
I drive oversized loads.
And I drive the warning vehicle, the flag car.
I've been using Pennzoil for about 17 years.
Most people will trade their car with, what, 60,000 miles on it. We could have gone through 7 cars.
Right. With its revolutionary Pennstar molecule, Pennzoil clings to moving parts, works like liquid ball bearings.
You could say it's been working overtime for us.
It's showtime, baby! Bet $4 on a case of Pennzoil or 33 cents on every quart.
Man, I could sure use some Tylenol for this headache.
Hey, I got this.
Ibuprofen? No, Bill, I can't. I got an ulcer, and that could aggravate it.
No kidding. My mom's got an ulcer.
My doctor said to be careful. Tylenol's a better choice for me, and it works great.
If you use ibuprofen and have an ulcer, Tylenol may be a better choice for you. Talk to your doctor.
Mom, it's Billy. How you doing? Listen, about your ulcer.
Okay, I'm sending the contract to the office right now.
A task like transmitting documents to the electronic world can be an easy thing for a network to do. Assuming, of course, the network was designed for transmitting documents.
Contract? I don't have any contract.
When I took the high endurance challenge from Old Spice, I really thought it was going to be a challenge. I mean, this is a challenge. This is a sure thing. It evaporates less quickly. It also lasts longer, protects better. Old Spice guarantees it. If you don't think it's the best, you call 1-800-PROVE-IT and they'll buy you a stick of your old deodorant. So if you're looking for a real challenge, go climb a mountain. If you're looking for the best deodorant, try high endurance from Old Spice. Because now you got proof. Guaranteed.
A child from an angel's past becomes a disciple of evil.
I'm not the devil, she is.
Can Paul Winfield help her win back his soul? Touched by an Angel, Saturday.
It's an 11-point game, 34-23. Iowa State with the lead. 3:17 to play here in the first half, and the Cyclones have dominated this game. Sharif Abdur-Rahim only 1 field goal attempt. in the first 17 minutes of this.
Cal has gone to a zone, Mike. It's a 1-2-2 zone.
Cato, no. Cato. Tough to box out in the zone, right?
The blockout assignments are not as well defined as they are in a man-to-man.
Abdur-Rahim with the second field goal attempt, couldn't get it down. Holloway tosses it ahead to Bank. Had all kinds of numbers here for Iowa State, and they couldn't convert. Cato, though, saves it to Holloway. Two minutes and 30 seconds to play here in the first half. Cato. Willoughby. Offensive foul is called on Dedrick Willoughby.
On Cal's last possession, we saw Raheem step out and shoot the long three-point shot. Throughout the season, when he goes long stretches without getting the ball in the interior of the Cal offense, I believe he gets frustrated. He steps out on the perimeter, and he tries to free himself for the three-point shot. But that's really not where his game is. His game is down in the paint. And the Cal guards must recognize that he's not an integral part of their offense right now, and they've got to get him some touches. By now, Mike, he should have had 15 to 20 touches in the first half.
17 foul on Iowa State, so Tremaine Folks will shoot at the line, and Folks, averaging 11 a game, has 9 in the first half. Randy Duck, the only other Cal player with more than one field goal, and he just has 2.
The Cal guards have to understand when they put that ball inside to Raheem, they're going to be the beneficiary because the defense is going to sink down on him, and it's going to leave them wide open for three-point shooting opportunities.
Holloway, nice job to get the ball to Willoughby. Numbers, Willoughby to the hole. No, partially blocked. Edwards, the follow won't go down. Bankhead, the third try. Cato, the finish. Duck in the lane, down low. Folks, no, but he's going to get himself back to the line. Nope, they're going to score the hoop.
Tremaine Folks on the basket.
Give 2 to Folks. He's now got a dozen. He's the leading scorer in the game.
Kelvin Cato is playing above the offensive rim.
Sean Bankhead came up limping on that play, and Tim Floyd quickly getting a sub into the game. Jelani Gardner picks up the quick foul outside.
Jelani Gardner.
It'll be his first and the 6th on the team. Bankhead apparently okay. The trainer not working on him.
Iowa State's showing a variety of offensive sets. Here they're back in that four corner. They're really playing with Cal's head defensively. They're showing him a lot of offensive looks, Mike.
Pratt, that's a travel as he made his move to the basket. Coming up on Pennzoil at the half, Jim Nance and Clark Kellogg will get you updated on all the tournament news, all the scores, and the highlights, plus a live look in at all the action going on in the NCAA tournament. That's all coming up on Pennzoil at the half.
Right now for the Cal Bears, it's important that they get this down to single digits.
Oh, and a block by Cato. Willoughby.
Kelvin Cato is dominating this basketball game at both ends, Mike. And one reason he's blocking so many shots is that he has the ability to roam free in the interior of the Iowa State defense and pick and choose which shots he wants to block.
That's a big-time block right there.
Joe Otterman returns for Iowa State.
Joe Otterman comes back in. Cato's going to get a little rest. 4-2 on the blocks in the Cyclones' favor. And Tremaine Folks, he has been the man here in the first half to Cal. He's keeping them in the game if indeed you're in a game down a dozen.
What a comfort it is for the perimeter defenders for the Cyclones to have Kelvin Cato back there, because you can get up and pressure the ball. If you get beat, you know you got a fly swatter back there in Cato. He'll correct your defensive mistakes for you.
Under a minute now to play here in the first half.
This totally distorts Cal's defensive floor coverage, and then it puts big gaps in the Cal defense, and there's Iowa State dribbling right through them.
Martin the leaner. That won't stay down. Rebound pulled down in there by Folks. Here comes Gardner.
A chance to get it down to single digits.
Gardner's going to take it. Rebound taken by Holloway. Lead pass to Pratt. That's going to cost Cal big time. Count the bucket. A bad shot on one end, Coach.
Not only that, Mike, there were about 3 major mistakes made there. An ill-advised shot, slow transition defense, and an absolutely dumb foul.
The reaction by the coach. Bankhead back in. Iowa State on a roll. The roll that took them through the Big 8 tournament continues as Pratt makes the free throw. He's got 9 on the game. Tony Rampton is checking in as Tim Floyd making substitutions for this final possession of the first half. 43-29, 14-point game. Edwards defensively out on Gardner. Down to 4. Gardner takes a long 3. No. Rebound. Wrapped around, and Moderman got fouled. And he will go to the line with 4/10 of a second. First foul on Folks. But this has been a costly couple of minutes here for Cal, Coach.
Very poor clock management by the Cal Bear. You got 4/10 of a second on the clock, and you foul a player 80 feet from the basket.
Unable to convert the front end, but otherwise it was all Iowa State. That's the end of the first half. With the score, Iowa State 43 and Cal 29. CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship will continue after this message and a word from your local station.
They're out there. And they're not like most of us. There's a passion that unites them, like a family. People have even called them rebels. They're Saturn owners.
Hey guys, this must be the place, huh?
Ladies, hurry up! The factory guy's gonna talk.
I don't know. I guess if you don't own one, you probably wouldn't understand.
Catch CBS in cyberspace on the road to the Final Four. Take the challenge. Go behind the scenes. Jump online with CBS.
This is CBS.
It was the greatest empire mankind has ever seen. And it still is. Caesar's Palace. Relive the legend.
We're in northern Kenya being chased by a black rhino. Whoa! Woo. The thing to remember when being chased by a black rhino is, while they're great in the straightaways, they can't corner worth beans.
The proceeding has been brought to you by the all-new Nissan Pathfinder, now with increased horsepower, for when you want to get away.
Welcome to Jack in the Box. May I take your order?
Yeah,
Is Jack there?
Just a moment.
This is Jack.
Mr. Box? Yeah, I'm really, really hungry. I was wondering what I should get.
How much you got?
About $1.
I'd go for 2 tacos for 99 cents. They'll fill you up, and they're really good.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Please pull up to the window.
All right, the action is split 4 ways. We've got a 1 in trouble out west. We'll be taking a look at the action across the country. Night 1 on the road to the Final Four.
CBS Sports presents Pennzoil at the Half, sponsored by Pennzoil. For more engine miles, Pennzoil works like liquid ball bearings.
All right, the shocker at the moment in Albuquerque. Purdue leading by only 1 over Western Carolina. Jim Nantz along with Clark Kellogg. And in this game, Iowa State picking up right where it left off in the Big 8 final, 43-29. Your thoughts?
Well, they're doing a great job getting easy baskets, Jim. They're slashing in their half-court game. Willoughby has been outstanding in terms of getting opportunities inside. And defensively, they've blocked a half-dozen shots already. They're doing a great job at both ends of the floor.
So Iowa State, the 5 seed, leading in that one. Meanwhile, there is another 5 playing, and that's Mississippi State. This was a 4-point game at halftime, 24-20. But they're starting to get it going here in the second half, the Bulldogs.
The big fella doing work inside. Him and Dante Jones having a party in the paint.
Here's Gus Johnson with Quinn Buckner.
Hey, Mississippi State on top 34-25. Bulldogs did not shoot the ball well in the first half, but they've come out here in the second half and have done a good job running their offense.
Yeah, they've done a good job running their offense, gotten the ball to Eric Dampier, who can score down on the block. Mississippi State is known for their defense. They have a height advantage, and they've come out better prepared to take advantage of that in the second half. I didn't think they did a very good job at all in the first half with that thought. You may be able to they may be lucky enough to get away with that in this round. You won't be able to do that in the second round. You've got to come ready to play right now.
John Smith and a whistle inside. Looks like it may be on Dampier. If it is, that's number 4.
Yeah, it was on Dampier, no doubt about it. Smith did a good job putting his body on it. Well, you hate losing Dampier because it becomes such a force on the inside.
Here's Hopkins spinning.
While you're looking at that spin, Arkansas is going right at Penn State. That's a number 12 going after number 5.
Jones fading away. Nice snatch down. Tyrone Washington in the ball game right now.
All right, so we took you there for the significant 4th foul by Dampier. 34-27 the score in that one. How about Western Carolina? Shot 58% in the first half. Now they're just starting the second half in Albuquerque. Here's Tim Brando with Derek Dickey.
Western Carolina with a 1-point lead just underway, second half. From Albuquerque, New Mexico. Western Carolina in the purple or dark uniforms against the Purdue Boilermakers. 3-time Big Ten champions. And the Southern Conference Tournament champions, giving them all they want.
3 seconds.
Bradley fouled on the way up.
Western Carolina is still doing a terrific job of defending the Boilermakers, not allowing the guys inside to be able to go where they want to go. Both teams have done a good job defending the perimeter.
Leading scorers in this game, McCullum, 11 points on 5 of 8 shooting. And Justin Jennings getting the job done with 10 on 4 of 8 from the floor for Purdue. And Chloe McCullum averaging 25.2 coming in. It's an absolute must that he get cranked up and play at that next gear in the second half.
I agree with that. And coming into this game, the last 16 games of the season, he had averaged over 29 points a game. So he has to get on fire. He can score outside. He also likes to go inside. At 6'1", he has to start looking to score.
Joel Fleming, the point guard of Western Carolina, 5 dishes and no turnovers to this point against that very tough Purdue perimeter defense.
Boilermakers are forcing Western Carolina out another step or two from where they want to receive the ball.
Here's McCollum working against Chad Austin. Fleming on the drive. Leaves it on the wing. Not there for Jarvis Graham. Fall down by the Boilermakers, and Austin on the other end.
Western Carolina's just packing it back inside. They're going to a 1-3-1 zone.
Brantley finally gets the roll. He has 11 in the game, does Brandon Brantley. And Purdue leads by 3. Western Carolina has trailed by as much as 6, but they've always been there to answer. And there it is again from McCollum. A 3-pointer to tie the game.
Coming into this game, he had made 96 3-pointers on the season. Always looking for that outside shot.
Oh, give and go. Working beautifully for Herb Dove. Not much defense in the interior that time for the Catamounts.
Call that Matador, Swiss cheese, or whatever you want to call it. It was a wide open lane to the basket, uncontested.
You had that between sessions, didn't you? In Swiss cheese?
I wish.
Always health-conscious Derek Dickey. McCollum lost in the air, and there's Jarvis again. Using the window. Jarvis Graham, that's a great deal of confidence from that sophomore out of Hartsville, South Carolina.
He has done a very good job of improving his defense, and now he's starting to look for his offense a little bit more, and Phil Hopkins wants him to try to utilize his athletic ability right around the basket.
Austin. Chad Austin, brother of Woody Austin, an all Big Ten guard at Purdue in 1992.
All right, that's a big 3 by Austin. Remember, a 1 has never lost to a 16 in the tournament history.
Western Carolina is still doing a nice job just maintaining contact, making shot after shot.
Well, there have been a couple of close encounters for 1s in the past. East Tennessee State and Oklahoma, that was a 1-point win for Oklahoma. And Princeton, Georgetown. Georgetown only beat them by 1. Here's a game, Arkansas, Penn State. Inside 15 minutes to go, and a 12. You called it, Clark. Leading here.
Yeah, Kareem Reed already has 14 points, and Penn State only 4 of 18 from behind the 3-point line.
All right, feisty Princeton coming up in the back half of our doubleheader against UCLA. Other action includes Monmouth against Marquette, Clemson and Georgia, Canisius against Utah. Story on that game real quick?
Well, Keith Van Horn out with the flu. That means Brandon Jesse has to step up big for Utah.
All right, we'll get back to the second half in Dallas as we continue on the road to the Final Four.
Pennzoil at the Half was sponsored by Pennzoil. For more engine miles, Pennzoil works like liquid ball bearings.
At the Russell Defensive Driving School, they teach a course called Street Survival. Here, drivers learn the fine art of skid control, accident avoidance, and emergency braking. While it's tough on the students, it's torture on the cars. Fortunately, they rely on the durable Mitsubishi Galant, because even after miles of abuse, the Galant's always ready for more. The Galant, a car of enduring quality. From Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles.
Hey, what's up, John? Hey, what's up, man? Watch the curve. Yeah, we're driving like my grandmother. Yeah, you drink like mine. Yeah, give me a break, man. Watch it. The idea is to keep the car on the road. Yeah, how about giving me another drink? Yeah, right. I think you've had enough. I think you're right. Give me the wheel. Yeah, hold on, man. I got it, man. Yo, man, just slow down, man. Yeah, man. Let me try that. Give it a back, man.
NCAA Youth Education through Sports Clinics say yes to children ages 10 to 18 with fun and challenging sports skills, conditioning, and life skills sessions conducted by top college coaches and student athletes. Yes Clinics, which are free of charge to the local communities at selected NCAA championships, provide participants with opportunities to learn the mental and competitive skills involved in sports and in life. This message provided by the NCAA.
I want to be a great athlete and a great student. So I have to put in a lot of hard hours practicing and studying. Sometimes I need to relax, enjoy myself with my friends, but using drugs will destroy everything I've worked to achieve. I don't need drugs, and neither do you.
If you or someone you know needs help or information concerning drug abuse, call this toll-free number, 1-800-662-HELP. This message provided by the NCAA.
Join 60 Minutes Ed Bradley at ringside Sunday to watch Muhammad Ali, still the greatest, in the fight of his life against the toughest opponent he ever fought, Parkinson's syndrome.
A crystal clear evening here in Dallas, Texas, where Iowa State has a 43-29 halftime lead. And we'll return to Dallas after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship.
Now, if you'll follow me, the highlight of our tour, the Odyssey from Honda. It has a low step in height for short legs. Cool. Not 3 doors, but 4 for quicker trips to the bathroom. It has a luxurious interior, child-proof door locks, and a hideaway third seat, making room for 5 or 6 dogs.
And right now, you can lease an Odyssey for just $2.99 a month for 24 months.
Can our parents use it?
This is CBS.
Ready for the new menu, Chief?
Hold my calls. Let her rip.
Presenting the over a buck menu.
It's supposed to be under a buck.
You know, it said under a buck in your memo, but I figured it was a typo. Because I looked at all that great stuff on the menu and thought, no way that's under a buck. Kooky misunderstanding.
Fix it.
Everything we do from the heart. Cathay Pacific, the heart of Asia. CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship is sponsored by Chevrolet Trucks, Microsoft, Bud Light, and by Wolverine Boots and Shoes.
The role that Iowa State got on in the Big 8 tournament continues here in the first round of the Midwest region. Mike Gorman, along with George Raveling, your thoughts on the first half, Coach?
Well, number one for Cal, they've got to tighten up their defense. Number two, they've got to be a lot more patient on offense. And for goodness sake, if they hope to win this game, Mike, get the ball in Raheem's hands more.
Let's look at those numbers. 58% shooting for the Cyclones. 30 points coming in the paint. They're dominating the glass, dominating second chance points. And look at that, 16 points off the bench for Cal, and they still trail by 14. Is the best freshman in the land getting a chance to show his stuff tonight? Not really.
3 points combined between Sharif Abdul-Rahim and Ed Gray.
How about that? Averaging 14 field goal attempts a game, has managed to get only 3 field goal attempts so far tonight. He has yet to make a field goal, has 1 point at the half. McQueen, Duck, Abdur-Rahim, Gray, and Folks will start the second half. And it's another block by Cato, but they got him for a foul. Let's check in with Bob Lobel. Bob.
All right, Mike Gorman, thank you very much. As Todd Bozeman came out of the locker room, he was shaking his head. He said they're just beating us at our own game. We were the transition team. We should be making the baskets off of those fast breaks. But they came out to Iowa State and beat us at our own game. So he was a little surprised at their intensity. And Raheem, he says, is the big key to the second half. He has got to get in and touch the ball and get to the hole. The reality is that Raheem has not scored a field goal in not only the first half of this game, but he did not score a field goal in the last half of his last game against Arizona. So he has gone 2 complete halves without a field goal. He is a big key if indeed Cal is going to get back into this basketball game.
We're going to make you a color guy, Bob. Watch out, Coach.
I believe that Bob was extremely accurate in his analysis. He said the same thing that we've been saying here for the last 5 minutes.
There's a block by Raheem on the move by Pratt. Here comes Gray, gets it to McQueen. Folks have the hot hand in the first half for Cal. Raheem trying to present himself to the ball, and they go the other way. Duck, the floater goes down.
Randy Duck.
7 points now for Randy Duck. 43-32 as Pratt brings it up. Watching his coach Tim Floyd, who signals for what looks like a little motion. Willoughby. Rebound out of bounds. Raheem, the last to touch it. Arkansas with a big lead now on Penn State. You picked that one, Coach.
And they also picked this ball to go to Willoughby on its inbound play.
Unable to convert, and that might be Cato over the back. And if it is, it's his 4th personal foul. That could turn this game around. It is number 4.
Nice penetration in there by Derek Willoughby. You cannot fault Cato's aggressiveness.
Clay Edwards has come into the game. Cato has been a dominant force in this one. Let's see if Cal can capitalize down 11.
Iowa State's in a boxing 1 right now. They've got Holloway on Ed Gray, and they're playing a boxing 1. It'll be interesting to see if Cal will recognize what defense Iowa State's in.
Abdul Rahim lets it fly and knocks down a 3. 5 now for Sharif. Can he come alive? 43-35.
It's extremely important that Cal gets Sharif back into his offensive rhythm.
Bankhead. Inside Edwards. Nice move. Fultz keeps going. Count it. And he's going to the line. $16 points for Tremaine Fultz.
Nice crossover dribble in there. And nimble fingers he had to keep control of that basketball.
Tim Floyd has called a 20-second timeout as his halftime lead is disappearing faster. It's down to 8, 45-37 with Fultz going to the free throw line.
And unlike the first 20 minutes, we have an emotional Cal team on the floor.
An 8-2 run by Cal to open the half. And Fultz is leading the way. He has 16 as he steps to the stripe. Kenny Pratt leading the Cyclones back onto the floor. They will continue to play without Kelvin Cato, who will sit on the bench with 4 personal fouls. Pratt and Cato had done a great job. Cato especially from behind on Abdul Rahim. $17 for Fultz. Willoughby brings it up against the pressure, gets by Duck, the double team. They reverse it to Holloway. Skip pass, Willoughby. Bankhead inside, Pratt. And a quick foul is called. It'll be on Abdul Rahim, his second.
Sharif Abdul Rahim, his second personal foul.
Kenny Pratt's value to the Cyclones is that they can play him on the perimeter or they can take him inside and post him up against smaller guards because he's such a strong player. He's a little too strong for a small guard. He's a little too quick for a big man to guard him.
Willoughby, pass tipped away by Gray inside. 18 seconds on the shot clock for Iowa State. Virginia calm in Mississippi State in a whale of a one-point game. 7:45 to go. Arkansas by 15. And look at Purdue and Western Carolina. A 2-point game with 11.5 to play. 16's a feisty today, Coach.
It's amazing. But in the end, the #1 seeds have prevailed.
Holloway brings it out, down to 10 on the shot clock. Willoughby, the touch. Can't get the bucket. Folks up big for the rebound. Cal can get to 5 or less. Abdur-Rahim gives it back out to McQueen. Gray, Bankhead there with him. Gray into the paint. Won't stay for big rebound in there. Gonzalez puts it back in. 4 points for Tony Gonzalez, 45-40.
And right now, the Cyclone defense has its biggest challenge. Cal has 3 players on the floor that are capable of putting 30 points on the scoreboard at any time.
Folks coming up with a turnover, gets it ahead.
And there's one of them, Ed Gray, and the other 2 are Rahim and Tremaine Folks.
Tim Floyd is going to use a timeout. 16-13 to go in the game. A 13-2 run, and it's 45-42.
Chevy Trucks is proud to help the U.S. ski team get where they are today. The rest is up to them. Chevy Trucks, proud to be the newest member of the team.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Face it, no other razor shaves closer or with more comfort than Gillette Sensor XL. Soft microfibs that protect your skin and individually spring-mounted twin blades that adjust to your face. No razor feels more comfortable during your shave or leaves your face smoother after. Gillette Sensor XL. And try new Gillette Aftershave, a splash that moisturizes as it refreshes.
Work boots. There's one place they don't work. Inside, they just don't have much cushioning. Dr. Scholl's Maximum Comfort work insoles give you 100% more cushioning. They make work easier on your feet.
First, Goodyear revolutionized wet traction design with AquaTread. Now, Goodyear introduces the only tire with a lifetime tread-like warranty. The new all-season Infinitread. Its tread is guaranteed for as long as you own your car. Call 1-800-GOODYEAR.
An innocent man accused of murder faces a town without pity.
Wouldn't shoot an unarmed man, would you? No, I wouldn't. I'd sure beat the hell out of you.
Walker Saturday.
Who's next?
Cal band a little louder in the second half. 45-42, Iowa State's lead all the way down to 3. 16-13 to go. Cal, the big run, but coach not necessarily on the shoulders of Abdur-Rahim.
One of the problems right now for Todd Bozeman is who will be their go-to guy. They have 3 players on the floor right now that are go-to guys. Tremaine Folks, Sharif, Abdul-Rahim and Ed Gray. Most college teams don't operate well when they have 3 go-to guys.
Edwards trying to keep it alive. It's picked off, though, by Folks. Folks, the bounce pass ahead. Abdul-Rahim lost the handle out of bounds. Well, that's amazing. Only 9 points. They're usually up around the 37-point mark, and yet Cal is only down by 3. 4 corners again.
Yes. Use this to distort the Cal defensive coverage. Creates nice gaps for you to dribble into. If help comes down in the post area, you pitch to the corner for the wide open jump shot. There it is right there.
Bankhead.
Textbook basketball by the Cyclones.
That's 10 for Sean Bankhead. Cal down 5. Gray. Nice pass.
And a nice cut. Nice back cut by Tremaine Folks. He caught his man looking at the basketball, and he took off for the basket and had the presence of mind to signal that he was open.
Biggest upset of the day so far, that Drexel win over Memphis. But Purdue is life and death right now with Western Carolina. Pratt, no, tipped by Edwards, and they got him over the back with the foul.
With Kelvin Cato out of the game, it certainly has changed the whole complexion of the game for the Cyclones at both ends of the floor.
Tim Floyd in some serious foul trouble here. He's going to let Edwards play with 4. Cato on the bench with 4.
It's a box and 1. The one man on Ed Gray is Holloway. Iowa State loves to play that box and 1.
McQueen throws it out to Gonzalez. 4 on the shot clock. McQueen out of bounds. It's coming back to Iowa State. Boy, Cal had a lot of trouble with that defense, that trip.
Iowa State is changing defenses so frequently that it's really causing severe problems for the Cal guards when it comes to decision making and floor leadership.
Still just a 1-possession game, though, at 47-44. And the foul is going to be on Gray. He picks up his second.
Ed Gray, the second foul, team foul number 2. Randy Duck returns for the Golden Bear.
Duck is back in, and Ed Gray will sit down. Gray with just 4 points, 2 in each half. 13:37 to play. Iowa State by 3 on the ball. Willoughby leans in, can't get it to go off the glass. There's Pratt. He's going to get to the line. Boy, he is a tough kid in traffic.
Tremaine Folks, his second personal foul.
Tremaine Folks picks up his second personal foul, the 3rd on Cal here. Kenny Pratt's going to get to the free throw line. Jelani Gardner is going to come in, and McQueen will go out.
Kenny Pratt, 2 shots.
One of Iowa State's goals each game is to go into the game with the goal to get to the foul line more than their opponents.
Something they do well. They do it very well. Duck. No. Rebound loose. Edwards goes to the floor to try to keep it alive. And Pratt is going to be called for the foul on Folks. Near the conclusion of every NCAA tournament game, we will select a genuine Chevrolet most valuable player of the game from each team. Today, Chevrolet has contributed almost $5.5 million to the scholarship funds of America's colleges and universities.
Joe Potterman
We
returns
talked
for
about Iowa State's goal of getting to the foul line more than their opponents. During the last two seasons, Iowa State has made more free throws, 1,180, than their opposition, which is attempted 1,082.
That's amazing.
1,082.
th point of the night for Tremaine Folks. He makes it a 2-point game. Iowa State's been stuck on 47 here. There's a new season high. He's got 21. It's 47-46. Cal's all the way back. And Abdur Rahim still sitting there with 5 points, coach. Willoughby. Abdur Rahim did a nice job staying in touch with Moderman. Iowa State down to 10 now on the shot clock. Willoughby, the leaner, goes. Boy, Iowa State really needed that bucket trick. Gardner kicks it back out. Abdur Rahim, short, tipped underneath, picked off from there by the littlest guy, Holloway. The up quick, Dedrick Willoughby in the paint, trying to leave it for Pratt. Loose ball, off the floor, Duck gets it ahead to Gonzalez. A traveling violation on Jelani Gardner. A little too helter-skelter?
I just think that the Cal guards need to recognize and understand how we can best get ourselves back into the lead. I don't believe they understand how to take the lead.
Moderman fakes the three. Trying to dump it underneath the bank. Head boy Folks has just played a great game for Cal. Duck. Boy, he got in the air and he didn't know where he was going.
The Cal Bears are rushing into their offense.
Folks pops out. Baseline, and the foul is going to be on Pratt. The foul trouble continues for Iowa State. Kenny Pratt now has 4 personal fouls. 11:39 to go.
You need 3,000 pounds Colby. Let me check.
We don't have it.
Limburger, Havarti, cheese curds,
Gouda.
Colby. No, out of Colby.
Gouda.
No, I don't want the cheese festival to be a disaster either. What about the nice age Gouda? Just found a warehouse stocked with 800-pound wheels ready to roll. You want it? Well, then it's yours. Want anything else? The Limburger. Something tells me Limburger's not quite right for the cheese float. Something in blue.
We're all out of blue.
We're all out of blue. Jack? We don't have Jack.
Do I go to work or stay home?
You've got some cold there. Take this and stay home. Stay home? He's got a client meeting today. Take Dayquil.
Look at him. He's all stuffed up. Take this and stay home.
Yeah, he'll need to, because that just takes care of a stuffy head. What about his cough? His sore throat? His job? Take Dayquil. It'll take care of all of that.
From the makers of NyQuil Vicks Dayquil Liquid Caps. The non-drowsy, stuffy head, congested chest, sore throat, coughing, fever, so you can face your day medicine.
Everybody happy?
Americans have always held a special place for automobiles. And in particular, automobiles that just plain work. It makes sense when you think about it. America is a big place. There is a lot of ground to cover. Americans need to cover ground. There are more Chevrolets on the roads of America than any other car. More people trust Chevrolet. Why? Probably because they just plain work. And people like that. There is, after all, ground to cover.
I have 165,000 miles on my car, and I use it to commute down into the city. I love my car. My car is my baby, and I trust Pennzoil.
With its revolutionary Pennstar molecule, Pennzoil clings to moving parts, works like liquid ball bearings.
I'm a doctoral grad student in psychology. I change my oil about every 3,000 miles, but of course, the oil really has to want to change.
It's showtime, baby! Bet $4 on a case of Pennzoil or 33 cents on every quart.
Tonight.
Are you ready?
Dave welcomes Sandra Bullock. Plus,
brand new special effects.
Yeah.
Iowa State with just 6 points in the first 8+ minutes of this second half, and Cal is right back in the game. They have the ball trailing by 3. Kelvin Cato has been on the bench for a while, and it's been 14-6 Cal while he's been on the bench. Abdur Rahim unable to save it.
And on the bench also, was Kenny Pratt, but they brought him back into the basketball game, Mike, and that was why I hesitated.
Yeah, they did.
This is a big gamble for Tim Floyd. Kenny Pratt has 4 fouls. 11:20 to go.
Inside, Pratt, yes! And Gonzalez got him over the back.
Tony Gonzalez, his first personal foul.
That's just the first on Tony Gonzalez. Cal literally foul-free here. Pratt, Cato, and Edwards, and that's the paint patrol right there for Iowa State.
And what that should tell the Cal Bears is that the interior of the Cyclone defense is weakened. They must start to exploit that by getting the ball down inside. And they must look to get a 5th foul on Kenny Pratt.
Iowa State back to a 6-point lead at 52-46. Jelani Gardner now handling it outside. Pratt had him. Gardner gets away from him, and then Pratt comes up with the steal. Martin goes to the floor for it. Trying to call his timeout to get one. Tony Rampton did. It was Tony Rampton in the game, and now let's see whether or not Tim Floyd, has he got a 20? He does not. So it looks like it's going to have to be a full timeout. He used his 20. 10:55 to go here in the game.
A tradition unlike any other, the Masters on CBS Sports.
23 seconds left. The winner moves on. The loser goes. And here they come. They bring the ball to the top of the key. Here's a swing pass, but it's over.
Foot Locker's got the Nike Air Screw Force.
And we've got a tie ball game with 12 seconds left to go.
The shoe worn by the top teams in March.
Bounce pass to half court. The touch pass is gone. Dribble penetration down the lane. They're gonna have to.
And all those willing to take someone to school. Foot Locker, where it all begins.
Things are changing, like the way we call collect. Now, instead of 0, millions of people are dialing 1-800-COLLECT to save on collect calls. Millions of people saving millions of dollars. Hey, change is a good thing. Anytime, any phone, anywhere. 1-800-COLLECT. It's the way we call collect today.
At an event that lasts just 2 weeks and features contests that last just 10 seconds, 24 hours is an eternity. Fortunately, UPS now guarantees overnight delivery as early as 8 a.m. from cities worldwide. If UPS can make urgent international deliveries to people who measure their accomplishments in seconds, think what they can do for those on a more relaxed schedule. UPS, worldwide Olympic sponsor.
Chevy Truck salutes all of the athletes on the U.S. ski team who refuse to be beaten. You make us proud to be the newest member of the team.
Iowa State, a little bit of breathing room here. 52-46, a 6-point lead. We are just about halfway through the second half. Cal, the big run to open the second half. Iowa State in a ton of foul trouble. Abdur Rahim still just 1 of 5 from the field. Not sure which is the tougher number there, the 1 or the 5. Holloway bringing it up against the pressure from Gardner. Inside, and that's going to be a foul on Tony Gonzalez. Two on Gonzalez. McQueen is going to check back in. Gardner goes out. And Tremaine Folks is going to come back in, and Gonzalez will go out.
10:41 to go, Mike. It'll be interesting to see if the Cal Bear will decide to exploit the 4 fouls on Kenny Pratt.
Count the bucket from Willoughby, and Duck picks up a foul. All now for Dedrick.
All of Iowa State's out-of-bounds plays are designed to get the ball.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick switch here over to the southeast. 26 seconds to go. Virginia Commonwealth with the ball down 3. Let's get there for the closing seconds. Gus Johnson, Quinn Buckner.
54-51. VCU trailing, but they do have the ball. They need a 3-pointer to tie. On the floor for them, Chappell, Hamilton, Hopkins, Bird, and Patrick Lee. Here's Hopkins.
They wanted to get to Sherman, but I see Lee making this play.
Lee picks up his dribble.
Yeah, he wanted to make that play.
Chappell has it stolen away.
And they fouled Hughes. And Hughes is a 79% foul shooter. Just lost the basketball that time, did Patrick.
Thomas on the Rams, number 5. Hopkins, that's his 3rd. 7th on the team.
So that is the 7th team foul against VCU. Bart Heitch heading to the line. Still a 1-possession basketball game.
1-1 for
Hughes, 79% free throw shooter.
Never a doubt.
And for the Rams,
So with 11 seconds remaining, it's a 2-possession game.
So they bring Marston in because Marston is an additional 3-point shooter for them. Mississippi State here, you don't foul. That's all you don't do. You don't foul, you don't make it easy to get a basket, but you don't foul either.
Here's Lee for 3. Long rebound to Wilson.
Just
4 seconds. And Darrell Wilson and the Mississippi State Bulldogs will advance to the next round, barring some kind of miracle by VCU. 2.8 seconds to go.
At the line for the Bulldogs, they 1-1.
Mississippi State knows that they've kind of dodged the bullet here because they didn't play their best game. This was not the same team here that beat Kentucky.
And the Chevrolet players of the game, Bernard Hopkins from VCU. And Bart Heitch, only 8 points, 3 rebounds, but he did a good job hustling and settling this team down.
He did a great job just giving them some energy and making some plays for them in the first half, including a 3.
George Bird shot off the front of the rim, and your final score, Mississippi State dodges a bullet. They hang on to win it, 58-51 to advance to the next round. Eric Dampier in foul trouble much of the game. Played well in the second half, but took the first half off. But they will go to the next round. So Mississippi State will wait to find out who they'll play as UCLA is all set to take on Princeton. Now let's go to New York where Jim Nance is standing by.
All right, so it was a struggle, but Mississippi State advances to the second round. We could have, folks, the largest glass slipper in the history of the first round. It's out in Albuquerque. 2 minutes to go. Here's Tim Brando.
Just there from Phil Hopkins, pointing to the head. Play smart. That's what the Catamounts have done all evening long.
They've made the right play on the defensive end to keep them in this game. Yes, you have to be able to score points, but you want to get the possession. You want to make a stop on the Boilermakers if you get a chance.
Pelham 69% at the stripe. On the year, they shoot for the lead right here. It does get heavier, doesn't it?
Well, before you can make 2 in a row, you got to make 1 in a row to get the lead.
But you know, he hit the back rim, not the front rim.
That's a very good point, Tim. He was on line.
Oh, the iron unkind to Western Carolina there.
Catamounts have had the lead in this game. Only 1 point at their biggest margin.
Brantley hasn't missed a shot from the floor, but he hasn't had many touches. Miller looking to get to him, and the shot clock continues to wind down on Purdue. It becomes a nemesis for them. Miller, the offensive rebound. There's a good look. Brantley still hasn't missed.
Excellent passes. Good hustle on the offensive glass for Brad Miller to come up with that ball to give the Boilermakers the lead.
Brantley 6 of 6 from the floor, but most of his shots from point-blank range. McCollum, a baseline move. A tough luck missed for Jarvis Graham. And then the foul in frustration.
This is just great hustle on the offensive end. The Boilermakers have been well tested throughout the season. You make an extra pass, good things seem to happen for this Boilermaker team. They're a team that averages 16 assists a game.
Cullum just picked up his 4th foul. Brantley takes the seat. Foster back into the game. 1:07 remaining. Top-seeded Purdue trying to avoid the unthinkable against 16th seeded Western Carolina. Opening round of the Western Regional. Already today, Drexel, a 12th seed, has knocked off Memphis. Roberts the dump down. Austin. Pulled down by McCollum.
Get it across half court. Talk about it.
I do not drive to work. I do not drive to get from point A to point B. I do not drive to run away from the world. I just love to drive.
The new 1996 Monte Carlo. Personal space from genuine Chevrolet.
To make you strong, to keep you warm.
For inspiration.
There is only one thing you need. And bring me back a t-shirt.
Visa, the only card accepted at the 1996 Olympic Games.
And a hat would be nice, too. Help.
Are you doing the right thing?
Help.
Can you afford it?
Help.
What kind of strings are attached?
Help.
Suppose it doesn't work out. You need some good advice before you commit to a cellular phone. Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
at ringside Sunday to watch Muhammad Ali, still the greatest, in the fight of his life against the toughest opponent he ever fought, Parkinson's syndrome.
Purdue nursing a very precarious 2-point lead. And you think of McCollum, certainly he has to take the shot, but Joel Fleming has 9 assists and no turnovers. The sophomore from Woodleaf, North Carolina, figures to need to make yet another quality decision.
He has to make a decision whether to give the ball to McCollum or whether to take the shot himself. He only has 5 points on the evening, but he has to try to find a score, find Joe Stafford, find, end quote, McCollum.
You see the game clock and shot clock differential. Pipelines down to near 10. McCollum will have to do it on his own. Rejected. Miller comes away with it. And the foul with 11.6 remaining.
Might not be a bad foul. Take a look at McCollum as he's driving baseline. He had a chance to dish this ball off. This is a terrific defensive play by Roy Harrison, not only to block the shot, but to keep the ball in bounds. This is a great hustle play. Harrison blocks the shot. Number 13, you see Kevin Cullum coming in on the left side of your screen. Could have dumped the ball down inside, chose to take the shot.
75% on the year. Not this time. Western Carolina gets one last opportunity. Fleming. Stafford. The historic significance of that final sequence etched on the faces of the Catamounts. They decided not to utilize the final timeout with that little time remaining.
But you want to try to get the ball up court, and you want to get a good look at the basket. You don't need a three-point shot. All you need to do is tie the score. Miss the outside shot, but you got time to get it up again. Doesn't go down.
So Purdue perseveres and remains in the NCAA tournament field as a top seed, but not without a tremendous effort from 16th seeded Western Carolina. Just a roll off from a victory. Our genuine Chevrolet players of the game, Paul McCullum from Western Carolina and Chad Austin from Purdue. In celebrating its 25th year of NCAA sponsorship, Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for the academic achievements and to assist those in financial needs. So the brackets look this way. Purdue #1 and surviving, beating Western Carolina. Georgia and Clemson will take on the winner, provided the outcome of that game, and Drexel will meet Syracuse on Saturday. For Derek Dickey, Tim Brando, it has been enjoyable and nearly historic as we take you back to New York and Jim Nance.
What a game. Thank you, Tim. The kids from Cullowhee, North Carolina, what heart. Almost getting fitted for the largest glass slipper in the history of the first round. Let's go to the finish out in Providence.
Arkansas 79-70 with 1:31 remaining. The number 12 seeded Razorbacks in the East region about to bury the Penn State Nittany Lions, the 5 seeds. 9 points, 1:31 to play. Meade has 18 points.
Making that foul shot makes it a 4-possession game. That means Penn State has to score 3 points each time down, 4 possessions, and not let Arkansas score.
Tough task.
Yes,
Reed nails another. 11 points. The lead for Arkansas. Secunda for Lasicki. Rushed his shot. Booth got the rebound, and Booth gets 2 with a little hook shot. 16 points for the freshman Calvin Booth. Penn State thought they pried it loose without a foul, but they did not.
Good defense by Arkansas. They're overplaying the 3-point land. They can't lose giving deuces. They can possibly lose if they gave 3s.
4th personal on Secunda. And that little buzz from the crowd as that Purdue score over Western Carolina. Close call for the Boilermakers. 1 seed in the West. Towns at the line for Arkansas. It's been a very good victory for the Razorbacks of Arkansas. An 18-12 team out of the SEC, tied for 3rd. Certainly folks in Minnesota thought maybe their team ought to be here instead of Arkansas.
Clem Haskins a little bit upset.
Yeah. But they have earned their way into the second round, it would appear. They'll await the winner of Marquette and Monmouth. Earl lets the 3 fly. Misses. Gathered in on the rebound by Robinson. Has had a big night for Arkansas. Well, our genuine Chevrolet players of the game, Kareem Reed from Arkansas. 19 points, 5 assists, 5 steals. A freshman leading the way. Matt Gaudio, great leadership, 17 points and 6 rebounds. Brought him back in the second half. Shooting help from his teammate Pete Lisicki from 3-point range. But Gaudio, the guy who gave him the heart to close it to 7 after they were down by 18. But Arkansas withstood the challenge. In the driver's seat with 1:05 to go.
Tank Robinson will take 2 shots now. He's really a guard and a grown-up body. He was a freshman on the national championship team 2 years ago.
Robinson missed 13 games this season with a foot injury and was a little slow coming back to things, but really assumed a leadership role with this freshman lineup of 4 freshmen and 1 junior. He is the leader. 10-point game again, Arkansas. Booth, freshman, another little short hook, cuts it to 8 again.
Get into Reed's hands, he'll break it. There it goes, and away he goes. Mr. Superman.
Well, he's tackled there by Lisicki. Actually, he just made such a clever move on Reed that Lisicki fell onto him. 82-74. Lisicki zigged when Reed zagged. Reed will go to the line again here Saturday afternoon against the winner of Marquette and Monmouth. There's Nolan, their main man, 84-76. His team in front of Penn State, headed to another upset, a 12 seed over a 5. Drexel had an even bigger one, knocking out Memphis earlier tonight in first round play. Penn State ranked number 18 in the country in the final AP poll coming into the tournament.
The biggest upsets of the tournament are on Saturday and Sunday. After Saturday and Sunday, you pretty much can go by the chalk.
Booth picks up his 4th. There's that Drexel score, 75-63 over a highly regarded Memphis team.
It seems, Tim, every year that the 12th team seems to grab a 5th seeded team. We have 2 already in this tournament.
Hood at the line with 35.1 seconds remaining.
Well, Hood is getting good foul practice.
Yes,
If their worst foul shooter, he's running the line. He's been making them all, too.
Yeah, he's hot tonight. He's relaxed, making the plays.
He's in the zone from the foul line.
Well, we've advanced Arkansas into the second round to meet the winner of the next game, the final game of the night, matching Marquette, the 20th ranked Golden Eagles, against the Monmouth Hawks of the Northeast Conference. West Long Branch, New Jersey. Earl driving and turned back by Robinson, and then Gaudio. Well, I guess he stepped out. Hood stepped on the line at Penn State ball. Calvin Booth.
That's Calvin Booth.
20 points for that big, good-looking freshman, 6'11". What a star he's going to be for Penn State.
Has to get to the weight room, put a little bit more strength on those shoulders.
Just a freshman. Lisicki picks up the foul, sending Bradley to the line. We mentioned earlier Bradley from nearby Everett, Massachusetts, a suburb of Boston. Just up the road a little bit north, about an hour from here. And saw his friends and family enjoying dinner with him last night in an Italian restaurant here in Providence. And what a thrill it must be for him particularly, and all the folks here to cheer him on. Freshman who escaped from the clutches of Northeast teams that overlooked them and Here goes Arkansas. Great scouting by Nolan Richardson. Was actually looking at another ball player and caught the Bradley caught the eye of Coach Nolan Richardson, who wrote down little gold stars with each good play that he saw from a player, and Bradley wound up with 4. That was enough to get Nolan's attention. Gaudio.
Penn State basketball
for him.
Gaudio.
Cuts it to 6, but 14.8 seconds all that's left. 19 points for Gaudio. And he fouls out. Matt Gaudio, who came back this year after missing 1995 with a serious back injury, was going to pack it in, give up basketball, and taking his tour here as the senior. The word of encouragement for the players who will remain on the floor. Fine young man from Fallensby, West Virginia. And gets a standing ovation from the Penn State fans here in the Civic Center. Classy guy and a great leader. 19 points, 9 rebounds in his final game at Penn State.
The score doesn't really tell the game. The last 14, 15 minutes of the game were governed by Arkansas. They made one run at them with about 5 minutes to go. Penn State, but couldn't maintain it from the outside. They had to score from the outside to stay in this ball game.
Towns will be at the line. You know, those moments like that, a senior playing his last game, he's in the tournament, obviously respected highly by his teammates, Penn State fans, the coaching staff. And those are the things that make this tournament so special. You know, the pain he's feeling right now. He had physical pain a year ago, and tonight he's suffering emotional pain as Penn State will be upset by the 12 seeds from Arkansas. This is Danny Earl missing badly on a 3, and Kareem Reed and Secunda both going to the sideline for the loose ball, but it's off the hand of Kareem Reed. You know, those long shorts that Arkansas wears, they make Reed seem even shorter. Notice that? He can play the game, and that's it. Zeros are up. Arkansas, the 12 seed, with a 6-point win over the Nittany Lions of Penn State, and they advance to the second round to await the winner of Marquette and Monmouth. And now let's take you back to our studios in New York and Jim Nance.
All right, Tim, they led by as much as 18 in the second half. Hold on the win. Remember, Arkansas and Cal were the last 2 teams to get at-large selections into the tournament. Arkansas proved it belonged, and now Cal's mounting a late charge against Iowa State. And they're going to a timeout as Cal just scored on the inside. Break it down to 69-64. That was a 12-point lead about a minute ago. We're going to take a timeout with them and pick up the play in Dallas when we come back on the road.
You followed 1,000 players here. 1,000 more will follow you. Maybe someone will listen. Maybe someone will hear. We've been working too. Brew the new beer from the heart of the hops. It's a beer with heart that goes down easy. New Miller beer. Listen to what's inside of you. Then you can reach for what's out there.
You want your own wife kidnapped. She's wealthy.
From the creators of Raising Arizona, a terrific twisted comedy. Fargo.
So, you were having sex with a little fella then? Yeah.
Rated R. Now playing at select theaters.
To make Wendy's new country French chicken sandwich, Dave put a whole breast filet, Swiss, and a Dijon sauce on a country French roll for a delicious taste of France.
Dave, votre nouveau poulet très bon. Muchas gracias.
Another day comes to a close. And tonight, some people will rest a little easier. Because helping to protect their automobiles, their homes, their families, is an independent insurance agent who compared the options and recommended Kemper. Kemper Insurance, coming through for more than 75 years. After all, if you can't sleep, you can't dream.
We've got 1:26 to play. Iowa State clinging to a 5-point lead. They've got the ball. Bankhead looking to inbound. And the foul is going to be on Jelani Gardner.
That wasn't a bad foul at all. I was sitting here thinking at that timeout, Cal certainly had to be talking about who do we want to foul and when do we want to foul.
Cal with the only timeout left. Todd Bozeman has been stopping the clock at every opportunity. Cal has never led in this game. They got to within one here in the second half after Iowa State had dominated the first 20 minutes.
Holloway's their second best foul shooter.
Rattles that one out. You got him on that one, Coach.
Keeping my mouth closed on this one.
Tremaine Folks fouled out of the game with 26 points. Holloway makes it a 6-point game. Gardner, threw it away. Cal gets lucky. It comes back to Duck. Gardner, no. Out of bounds. Iowa State ball with 1:13 to go.
You got 1 minute and 30 seconds, Mike. You're down 6 points. Why are you rushing into your offense? Get some ball movement, set some screens, establish who you want the ball to go to.
Iowa State has been living in these close games. Pratt. Boy, that was a smart play. To Bankhead.
Cyclones have the floor spread. Now Cal needs to get a foul here. I cannot understand why Cal has waited so long to foul.
Duck finally gives it after Cal had let about 20-plus seconds go.
Mike, this is where the Cal Bears need floor leadership. The coach shouldn't have to tell the team that they need a foul in a situation like that. You've got to have leadership on the floor, and you understand time and score. They let too much time run off the clock before they decide to foul.
Willoughby unable to make them pay. It is still a 2-possession game. It has been a rough first NCAA appearance for Sharif Abdur-Rahim. Now Cal needs 3 scores.
Well, it's been rough on Rahim because the Cal players do not understand that this is the player that can get them back into the basketball game.
Jelani Gardner is called with an offensive foul.
A player control foul.
Too many players on the Cal team have adopted the mentality late in the game, I'll get it done for us. This is a team game. You need 5 players to get the job done. And Iowa State understands that.
Iowa State is advancing here. 73-64, they lead by 9. Gonzalez has got to let a 3 fly. Rebound taken down by Bankhead. Willoughby dribbles through a crowd and gets fouled as he comes across half court. Bankhead's dunk will not count, but with 18 seconds to go, the Cyclones of Tim Floyd will play on.
All right, so Iowa State's going to advance to the second round. Cal tried to mount the comeback, couldn't finish it off. For you folks out in Los Angeles, we're going to get you to the start of
in his 29th year. He's 65 years old. The only active Division I coach to earn 500 wins without athletic scholarships.
He's a guy that very much understands the game, always got his players to play within themselves. He's got to have a team here that shoots the ball well, knowing the way UCLA wants to get it out and run. Right away, Pete Carrillo comes out in a little 1-2-2 zone, forced the jump shot.
There's Toby Bailey. Pull it up, and Toby Bailey knocks down the jump shot.
Kristen has to know
shooters are. Bailey is a guy that can shoot the ball with given time, so you got to get out there. The real key here is the patience that UCLA has on their